Do you think about the fans? Do you
Not
think
at
about
all.
the guys in the audience looking?
Not at all. No, the way I was raised and stuff like that, man, I hear certain things grows on deaf ears, man. I'm so in tune with myself. I'm so in tune with my, the things that I want to do in life, the mission that's incomplete right now. I'm well on my way. 33 years old. This is 33 years a year of my manifestation. 33 magic. I'm walking in my manifestation right now.
So let me, your business is boxing. So when I think of my business, I have the luxury of entering the ring, which is launching something and playing around. I have an idea of what I'm going to do, but I don't know what I'm going to do until I get it out there. So in theory, with your match coming up against Tyson, you have an idea of what you're doing. Any bout, you have an idea of what you're about to do, but you have to adapt during that moment.
Most definitely.
Is that correct?
That's very correct. And every true champion know how to adjust to anyone, no matter what they may see themselves doing. Because a fight, I can visualize myself and meditate on it, of me knocking this guy out in a certain way. And there's been times where I've told fighters that I'm gonna knock you out, and I've told them what position their body would be in before I knock them out, and it happened. So it's very strong, But sometimes you can get in a situation where you miss things, you can visualize things, but you don't, life is all about surprises, So you can have a surprise in life, and if it comes, if you are true to your words, if you're a true person that you're dedicated to your craft, and you ain't worrying about nothing, you speaking all positive, thinking it, surrounding yourself by positivity, then the result's gonna be positive. In the ring, I'm a true champion. I'm a king. So with that being said, any man that I face, if they bring something that I ain't used to or I haven't never seen, I will adjust. And when I address and figure you out, bam, baby, good night.
So has that changed from when you became a champion to prior, or is it the same mentality?
It's the same mentality. I still got the same hunger, and I think that's what keeps me continually to win. Not only just my children, but the mentality that I have. Because in boxing, for me, it's more 96, 97% mental, and the rest physical. If I can get in your head, or if you can get in my head before we fight, then you've already won. You just have to show up.
Yeah.
And I can be way better than you. I can be a great fighter, and you can be just average. But if you can find a way to mentally get up in this, all my physicalities is gone. That's over. All the weights and being athletic and doing certain different things, all that goes out the window because my mindset ain't right yet.
So you were talking about, earlier we were talking about meditation. When did that, why that? When did that kick in for you?
That kicked in the Olympics. We used to, every Wednesday, we used to deal with she was like a nutritionist and slash, I don't know the term to call it, but she introduced us to meditation. It was this exercise she wanted us to lay down. Some of the guys, being fighters, they into all types of superstition as is anyway, And I remember this situation as if it was yesterday, like I could see it, and how she had us on the mat. Some guys participated, well, they went along with the process of it because they had to, but really just tuning into it, zoning out, who knows what they did. But when I do something, I take it seriously. I want to give my best so I can have the best results afterwards. No matter how silly or how crazy it may look or seem, I want to try it out. So I tried it, and at first it was just almost like you just being in this quiet place and you hearing a voice talk, but you seeing yourself going through something. You trying to figure, like I'm a great visualization type of person. Even when people talk to me, for me to understand them, I picture it in my head. I play it in my head. So that's why I'm easily to understand people, when others are not, And as she was, going through the processes and telling us, to think about this, so her voice would get soft and she'd get higher and start talking, then it get back soft. And, we had no music at that time and stuff like that. It's all about just focusing out.
But it worked for you.
It worked.
But I find that interesting because you have the ability to take, if something can affect you positively, whether it's 5 years in, 10 years in, 13 years in, you're going to use that.
Oh, most definitely. I use it all the time in my everyday life. Not only just in my profession, but in my everyday life. It allows me to
the sixth kid affected you. The fifth kid affected you,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a magical thing. It's wonderful, you know. And it allowed me to learn so much about myself, so much about this world, just so much about just being just a positive person.
So what happens between now and the Tyson fight? You're what, 2 weeks away? What's going to happen?
Pertaining to what? Training?
Training, psychologically, meditation.
Yeah. Well, in training, I think I got like a week and a few days left for sparring, and then I'll be finished. I'll be finished like on the 21st. That'll be my last day of sparring. Thursday of this week would be my last day of strength training.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It'll be my last day of strength training. So right now is just the preparations of summing everything up. That's this long camp has been. So we putting everything together, sharpening and all that. You know, make sure everything is a muscle memory. So when I get in the ring, it's no thinking. It's all action. It's all doing. You know, we never want to think in the ring what we're gonna do. We wait on we wait on the vision that we seize, and when he do what we've been seeing, my body reacts.
Yeah,
that's how I knock these. It's reaction. I'd have knocked so many guys out with his hands. It's pitiful. It's crazy. It's like it's like second nature to me.
Do you get pissed that you're not 40-0 by knockout?
What's that?
Do you get pissed that you're not 40-0 by knockout?
I know I'm not. You know, because the guy that I did knock out in the rematch, I knocked him out in devastating fashion. But the first time, it was a proving point because a lot of people at that point in time, I was 32 and old, and at that point in time, I'm knocking everyone out. And you know, people, you know, you're going to get doubters. It's a big world, so you can't please everyone, and I try not to, you know, because that's a big task to do when you're trying to please everyone and listening to everyone when they don't know. Only thing that should bother you or make you upset is the things that people say that is true. But half of the time it ain't true, so if it don't apply to you, then why keep it in your head?
So aside from your daughter, where do you look for your motivation? Who out there, whether it's a boxer or someone in a different sport or an industry, who do you look for inspiration?
I'm a family man. It's all for my children. Every bit of it. Even, you know, I like to grab nice things along the way. I got nice cars, nice toys, and different things all over, you know, but that's just me in the moment of time. All that is in the wheel that will go to them. You know, everything I have. I'm gonna grab things along the way. But I do it all for my children. I knew how hard it was for my father, you know, and mother to take care of us. You know, we grew up poor, man. And I didn't know the severeness of it until one day me and my father had a conversation.
Sure.
You know.
How old were you then?
I'm 33 now, probably my 31, somewhere up in there. You know, when he said he only got $600 a week, and the rent was $550. You know, and this always made me resort back to when I had my daughter at 19, and I had to work in 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. Where that if you don't work, you don't eat.
So as an example, I have more people here than you do. Is that normal?
Yes. No, it's not normal. I don't carry a big entourage. I have my brothers and stuff like that. We're around all the time, and that's my entertainment. Family, you know. When I'm here or anywhere, like I'm the same whether I'm in Alabama, whether I'm in California, whether I'm in Atlanta, you know, I'm the same way. Whether I go down in Miami, I'm the same way. Most of the time I go where my destination spot where I need to be or whatever, and then I'm home.
Do people recognize you?
Oh, most definitely. You know, and you know, some people take it overboard. You know, because I'm not the type of person, don't call me a celebrity. Don't look at me as a famous person. I'm just something that my grandma spoke that I was anointed and God is using me. And I'm allowing him to use me, you know, and what he given me, I'm going to use it up. Because if you're blessed and have a talent that you know you're special amongst the rest, and you don't use it, it will be stripped from you and give it to another brave soul that have no problem.
Do you ever think about after boxing?
Most definitely.
What's that look like?
You know, my passion is acting. I'd rather act like I'm getting hit than get in the ring getting hit, baby. And that's the day I'm looking forward to. You know, I've done, you know, I've been in the TV, you know, on a reality show and stuff like that or whatever. But my true passion is acting. You know, I've always done the church plays and stuff like that. They used to give me the long scripts. And I remember going into the bathroom. I'd been in there for several hours rehearsing my lines because I wanted to know them perfectly. I wanted to be perfect when I'm acting, you know. And then the lines that I can't remember, I make my own up in there, and it always works out because I'm being myself. Like, I like to take the script, and what I can't remember, I get into character because I can, like, being from Deontay to the Bronze Bomber, you gotta know how to get into character. You gotta, you know, it's that transformation. And with acting, that because of my transformation and what I do in my career now, the acting part is gonna be killer. You just, another Denzel Washington.
I have to say, I think in this, from what I've known of you prior to this, to having this conversation, the inspiration I get from you is this utter feeling of no matter what you decide to do, you're going to succeed in this. No one just is good at this like you. You've decided I'm going to be great. And to me, that's all about what being self-made is.
Most definitely. You know, my mother, when I was 11 to 12 years old, she gave me this poster, and it had this bear running a relay, and the bear had a red bandana, a red, you know, headband on his head, and he was finna cross the finish. He haven't crossed it yet. And it had a little, it's just a little bit of space between the chest and the, what's name, but you can tell that he was finna finish. And the saying said, you don't know what you can do at the bottom until you try.
Yeah.
And that meant everything to me. So with that being said, even in my adult life, I apply whatever I have to. You know, I dedicate myself to what I'm doing. I give it my all, no matter what it is, because I want great results. If I don't give it my all and I come up short-handed or I get the short end of the stick by the chest, I don't want to have those doubts that, like, damn, I could have did more.
Yeah.
I should have did this. I don't want the woulda, shoulda, couldas.
Yeah.
When you could have done it the right time, the first time. My dad said, you do it wrong, you do it long. You do it right, you do it light. And we always talk about that saying to this day. And a lot of things stick with me in my head, you know. So I'd rather apply whatever I got to do, whether it's working at Burger King or working at Mercedes. I'm going to give it my best the first time. If I'm at a position, it's just like I used to work for Budweiser. I was the helper. I was the assistant. But I needed money. I had a daughter I needed to take care of. So I looked at her like, how much the driver make?
So, I need the next thing. I need the next thing.
Yeah. Come on with it now. So I started studying that manual book of how to drive them big 18-wheelers, man, and carry them 54-inch trailers behind him and be able to whip that thing back too. You know what I'm saying? Because it was more money in that. So I like, why settle for less when I can have more? And I can support my family like I want. I told myself I'd never struggle in life for that simple fact that I put everything into what I do.
I hope you kick Tyson's ass, and I hope the next fight will be Joshua, and you're going to kick his ass.
There you go.
Because you deserve everything that comes your way.
Man.
You've earned it. Self-made is you, so I appreciate it.
Blessings so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Blessings.